Missionary Flights International, or MFI for short, was established in 1964 to transport affiliated missionaries and their cargo to and from the countries of Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and the Bahamas.
MFI has been indispensable. They bring in our medical teams, they bring in our medical supplies, and I guess medically speaking, one of the most eventful things for me, how MFI stood in the gap. I was in an explosion and I was burned from head to foot, and MFI flew 911 in here and flew me back to the States for medical care. So I don't even know if I'd be here if it wasn't for MFI. Okay, we really owe MFI our existence here.
I'm Lawson Bates, volunteering under Medic Corps. Right now we have a team down here and we're helping coordinate evacuation flights out of the Fatma Hospital in Lakai, Haiti here. So many critical patients coming in, and I came in last night, had 3 children on board, got them to the hospital, got stuck overnight, and thankfully getting a ride back to the hospital so we can coordinate more evacuation, help more people do what we can to make a difference.
After living in the U.S. and then starting this ministry and doing camp, we've been bringing supplies. I'm like, are they gonna let us bring those things in? I'm like, they're like, yes, as long as they can fit it in there. I mean, we're gonna bring it. And you know, that's why I said MFI is the best things, like for missionary. You know, like, I mean, I know you guys are serving a bunch of people, but for TCM, I mean, we got construction going on, like, I mean, we were able to bring so many supplies in, and if you were to fly commercial, it will not be possible.
Every Monday morning, Missionary Flights International begins with prayer, as well as a short devotional time. The MFI office staff handles booking and processing passengers, financial accounting, donation records, as well as compliance with federal regulations. Like any organization, MFI must pay its bills, maintain its status with supporters, and maintain government standards, all with professionalism and safety. Situations arise weekly that the executive staff must discuss. Keeping a hand on the heartbeat of MFI is critical. As the flight planning progresses, passenger and baggage information is sent to the operations staff. Cargo loads and passengers must be organized efficiently to ensure proper weight and balances. The MFI captains must also check the weather forecast and file flight plans. Every day, delivery trucks arrive at the MFI receiving door. Once the cargo is weighed and the contents determined, the information must be typed into the computer and later printed off as a cargo manifest for the flight. MFI receives more mail than any other business in the city of Fort Pierce, where its hangar is located. Dedicated volunteers come to the hangar every day to sort the cargo and the mail. Once the cargo and mail have been accounted for, the loading begins. All the cargo is carefully loaded according to the weight and balance calculations made by the operations staff. While the loading crew is busy on the inside of the aircraft, the mechanics are poring over the outside of the DC-3 to ensure that the aircraft is safe and ready for flight. Many of the MFI pilots are also airframe and power plant mechanics. We also have maintenance specialists who oversee the maintenance procedures and ensure that all of the aircraft inspections are accomplished. The FAA visits MFI often to review our records and to offer suggestions that can improve the overall quality of our maintenance. We often work on long-term maintenance projects. Engines become worn and must be replaced. Corroded aluminum must be treated or replaced to ensure the safety and integrity of the aircraft. MFI's dedicated and talented mechanics work diligently to ensure that we are operating safely. MFI also has a parts room with thousands of DC-3 parts ready for use. Next, our aircraft are fueled using the calculations made by the flight crew. Even though our flight crews have thousands of hours accumulated in our DC-3s, we conduct regular training to keep them current. Our aircraft have modern GPS navigation systems, as well as weather radar and satellite telephones on board. MFI is blessed with dedicated volunteers. Many of them are in the hangar almost daily, helping keep our operation moving smoothly. Recently, MFI updated its Missionary resource store, an area dedicated to the donated in-kind goods available for missionaries to claim for free. Through an online system, over 550 affiliated mission organizations have access to donated items such as tools, school supplies, music instruments, and empty pill bottles. The preparation is over. The maintenance is complete. The cargo and mail are loaded. The MFI team has signed off on the next day's flight. Flight day has arrived. Those who were office workers and cargo handlers yesterday are now pilots dressed for the day and preparing for the long flight to the mission field. Even though the maintenance crews have worked on the aircraft the day before, the flight crews are the ones who take final responsibility for the safety of the flight. For several weeks, work teams and the missionary families have been planning and praying for this day. The teams are ushered through the warehouse so we can weigh them and their baggage. As they wait in the MFI lobby, the pilots and volunteers load their baggage onto the DC-3. Within minutes, the passengers are headed toward the awaiting airplane. Once the DC-3 is at its cruising altitude, the MFI flight crew begin to serve the passengers. Up front, the pilots are busy with the progress of the airplane. Soon, the mountains of Haiti come into view. In a few minutes, the excitement of going on a mission trip will become a reality for the mission work teams on board our aircraft. After the passengers are walked through the terminal building and processed through immigration, it is time to unload the aircraft and prepare it for a long flight home. After filing a flight plan and fueling up the DC-3, we are ready to head back to the U.S. The returning passengers look very familiar to the crew. Many of them are part of the work team that we flew to Haiti just 1 week ago. In a little over 3 hours, the MFI DC-3 will line up on the final approach to the Treasure Coast International Airport in Fort Pierce, Florida. A smooth landing and a quick tour through the U.S. Customs facility, and the day is over. The ground crew meets the flight and quickly ushers the DC-3 into its parking place in the MFI hangar. Tomorrow, we start the entire process over again. More cargo teams and baggage will arrive, and within 48 hours, the MFI DC-3s are headed back to Haiti, the Dominican Republic, or the Bahamas, to be a blessing to the mission communities that we serve. The MFI board, staff, and volunteers would like to thank each of you for partnering with us. Your prayers and financial support help us stand in the gap for missionaries by transporting life-saving supplies and the hope of the gospel.